Welcome babes, my name is Birthday Ann and I hope you enjoy watching my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to make a pink dress for my niece. This is in the color Pretty in Pink. It's Red Heart Super Saver yarn. It's a weighted 4 and it's 100% acrylic. I had wind it up and make it into this ball right here. I am using a tape measure to measure out my niece measurements. I have some stitch markers, scissors, and some yarn needles to weaving out the ends. And then I'm using a 5.5, which is the recommended hook. So I am going to do a chain that's about 8.5 to 9 inches. So the measurement that I took was from her chest right up to her belly button. That's the length that I want the dress to be. So I took that measurement. So I am going to just yarn over and pull through to make a chain that will be about 8.5 to 9 inches long. Okay, so I did that and I got exactly 9 inches long, and I believe I just did 25 chains for that. So right now we're just going to double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to put it through the first hook, and then we're going to pull through. We have 3 loops on our chain. We're going to yarn over 2 and yarn over 2. We're going to yarn over again, go to the next chain, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and that's going to be basically the pattern for this step right here. So we're going to do it all the way to the last chain right there. So we are going to do that, and I'm going to make it about 23.5 inches, which is going to be, that's gonna go around her body. So make it about 23.5 inches or whatever inches that you wanting it to be. So we're going to chain 1, and then we are going to keep doing it. We're gonna pull through both loops. Okay, I'm just adding a stitch marker to show me where my chain 1 was. So we're just going to keep doing it. Yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and just do double crochet until we have our desired inches. All right. Okay, so I believe I did about 47 rows, which got me to the 23.5 inch. So right now, I am going to slip stitch this close. You have to find which side you want to be the right way or the wrong way, meaning which side you want to be on the outside or which side you want to be on the inside. So the side you want to be on the outside, you're going to fold it inward so you could do your stitch I'm so sorry, your slip stitch close. So you're going to slip stitch this the 2 ends together to close it. All right, so the slip stitch is, you make sure you pull through one side and you pull through the other side, and you pull through the yarn, and you take the first loop and bring it to the second loop. Okay, so you're just going to slip stitch this close. One side is going to be more easy to see the stitches than the other side, but just do your best, take your time. As you can see, that's how it's going to be looking on the right side. So just take your time to get both yarns together, and you just slip stitch this. So once you're done, I want to do a half double crochet in every open space to make the top part more uniform, more easy to work with. So to do a half double crochet is, you're going to yarn over, you find a space, you pull through the yarn, you have 3 loops on your yarn, and you pull through all 3 loops. All right, so you're gonna yarn over, pull through the space, you pull the yarn, and then you yarn over and you pull through all 3, and you're gonna do that until you get to where you started, and you're going to just slip stitch that together. Okay, and that's how I did mine. So as you can see, I'm just slip stitching this together, and I'm going to just chain one, and this is how the top part is looking. As you could see the half double crochet make it nice and even, while the bottom part is still a little rugged, and that's how it's looking. All right. Okay, right now I'm going to be working on the bottom part, so I am going to chain 3. That's going to act as our double crochet. So on our, as you can see right there, I'm going to yarn over. On the next stitch, I'm going to do a puff stitch. A puff stitch, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to yarn over, and in that same stitch, I'm going to yarn over, pull through 4 times. Once I pull in 4 times, I'm going to have 9 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over all through 9, and I'm going to chain 1. And then on the next stitch, I am going to do a double crochet, which I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. As you could see, I put a stitch marker right there on top of our chain 3 to know where to put my slip stitch. All right, so the pattern for this is going to be a puff stitch on one stitch and a double crochet in the other stitch. All right, so again, the puff stitch is we are going to yarn over 4 times while pulling the loop through the same stitch. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, and pull through 4. We should have 9 loops on our hook. Once you have 9 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over 1 more time and pull through all 9 loops, and then you're going to chain 1. And then on the next stitch, we are just going to do a double crochet. Okay, keep in mind while you're chaining 1, that's kind of me increasing because I want it to be like a little bit flowy, as I want like a tutu kind of look to it. So that is just going to be my pattern on the next couple rows. All right. Alright, so we are at our last 2 stitches, so I'm going to put a half double crochet in that stitch, and then on the very last stitch I'm going to put a puff stitch right there. Alright, so I'm going to yarn over for my double crochet. I'm going to put it through, and then I'm going to pull through and pull through 2 and pull through 2, and then on the puff stitch I'm going to pull through 4 times. All right, and that is how our pattern is being. So as you can see, I pull through 2, and I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to pull through a second time, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through that last stitch. I'm going to do it 4 times to have 9 loops on my hook. All right, and then we are going to finish that first row with a slip stitch. So we are fully done with our first row. As you can see, that's how the bottom is looking. So the more we're going to do that same pattern is going to go outwards. So we are going to chain 3 for our second row, and then we're going to do a puff stitch, which is yarn over, pull through 4 times, and you should have 9 loops on your hook, and then you're going to pull through all 9 loops, and then you're going to chain 3. And then on the next stitch you're going to do, well, I'm going to do a double crochet. Now for this particular pattern, I'm doing it in every single stitch, even on the chain 1 after we done our puff stitch, because after the puff stitch we do a chain 1. I am putting a puff stitch and a double crochet on every single stitch and chain on the second row. So you have to remember that that's also increasing my stitches. So if you don't want to do a lot of increases on your skirt, you just skip the puff stitch. All right, so I'm going to do some increases, which is me working on every single stitch all around the skirt for a couple stitches until I get it to like the puffiness that I'm looking for, and then I'll show you how I stop increasing. Okay, the way that I'm going to stop my increase is after my chain 3, I'm doing a puff stitch and I'm going to chain 1. So the next stitch is the puff stitch in the previous row. I am going to skip that one, and I'm going to be working on the next stitch, which I'm going to put a double crochet. All right, and then on the next stitch, which was just a regular stitch, I'm going to put a puff stitch in that one. But on the following stitch, which was a puff stitch in the previous row, I am going to skip that one. That was our chain 1 after the puff stitch. So now on the following rows that I'm going to do to finish the skirt part of the dress is I'm going to skip every puff stitch that have a chain 1, and I'm just going to be working on the following stitch. That's going to stop your increases from happening. All right, so I did that until I got to about 8.5 inches for the skirt portion, and now I'm just going to do a border, which I chain 3, and I'm just going to do double crochet in every stitch, but I'm still skipping the chain 1 puff stitch. So it's going to be the same pattern, the same thing I was doing before to stop increases or decreases. So I'm just going to put a double crochet but skipping every puff stitch, and that's how it is once I did that. And that's how it's looking, just a puff stitch little border to just finish the pattern. Now I'm going to be working on the sleeve area, which I'm going to just do a slip knot, and then I'm going to chain until I have about 3 inches for the arm. All right, so I believe I just did about 10 chains to get my 3 inches, and then I'm going to just double crochet for 10 inches, which when I measured around her arm area, like her armhole, is 10 inches. So I am going to do double crochet for 10 inches. And yes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I did 17 rows for my 10 inches. Remember, this yarn is like a little bit stretchy, so just to make sure that it's going to hug her, I made sure I stretch out the yarn to make sure I got the 10 inches that I was looking for. So you're just going to now look for what side you want to be the inside and what side you want to be on the outside. And remember, the side you want to be on the outside, you're going to fold it to be on the inside. So you're going to be working on the wrong side, and you're going to slip stitch this together. All right, so you could connect it. So that's what I'm just doing. I'm just going to make sure I go into all the open spaces that I can, and I'm going to slip stitch this until it's all connected. Alright, so I am finishing up slip stitching this together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it inside out. As you can see, that's how it's looking. I am going to chain 2, and I'm going to do double crochet all around it to give me like a more smooth edges. So when I'm going to be connecting it together, it'll be a little bit easier to count my stitches and to know exactly where I want to put the stitch that I'm going to connect together. All right, so as you can see, I'm just looking right now for any open spaces that I could find, and I'm to put a double crochet, and now I'm just slip stitching this together, and this is how it's looking. So you're just going to do another identical for the other arm. All right. So I am back on my dress. I'm going to reattach my yarn on the back side where the ridges are, where I want the back side to be. All right, so I'm going to attach my yarn, and I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do double crochet all around, which double crochet again, it's you're going to yarn over, and then you're gonna pull through, have 3 loops, pull through 2 and pull through 2 on every space that I see, because I want, when I'm attaching the sleeve together, that I could see what stitches I'm working with. I want it to be nice and smooth, even on top. So I'm just adding a double crochet all around the top of the dress. All right. After my double crochet, now I'm just making sure that I have the 2 sides identical. So I'm just counting my stitches to make sure the back is where I want it to be, evened out, and counting where her underarm is going to be so I could attach the sleeve to the dress. So I'm just counting to make sure I have my stitches correct and everything is lining up. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to just do a single crochet all around. So it's just going to be, I'm gonna pull through and pull through 2. That's the single crochet. So you're gonna just take your yarn, pull through, and you're gonna have 2 loops on your hook, and then you're gonna yarn over and pull through all 2. So I am just going to single crochet all around until I get to my first stitch marker, and that's how I am going to attach the arms to it. All right, so I am just going to line up the sleeve. So I want the where I attach the sleeve to, as you can see where the ridges is, I'm going to line it up to my second stitch marker. So I'm going to be working on the stitch that's before the ridges. So you could attach it any way you want, but that is how I'm going to attach the sleeve to it. So I had put 4 stitch markers on because I want 4. You could do 2 or 3, but I choose 4 because I want the arms to be really secure. So as you can see, I'm just going to still do a single crochet to attach the arms to it. All right, so single crochet the sleeve 2 stitches, and make sure you get both. So you're gonna have to go through 4 the stitches, so the front and the back. So make sure everything is lined up and you're taking both sides together, and you're just going to single crochet, and then you're gonna go do that all around until you get to the other arm. As you see, that is how it's looking right now. Okay. So I came back to where I started, which is the back. You could honestly just leave the dress like that after you connected the arm area, but I wanted to add a little more flare on top of the dress. So I am going to do the same pattern I did on the bottom, and I'm going to just add maybe 2 rows of the puff stitch and double crochet pattern that I did at the bottom, but instead of putting 4 pull through puff stitches, I'm just going to do 3. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through 3 times on the same stitch, and chain 1 to give the top like a little bit of a ruffle effect. Also, I thought it was going to be cute, so that is what I'm doing. You could, like I said before, you even do this the top part, you could just leave it like that, but if you also want to do a little flare, you could do what I'm doing. So when I came to the arm area, I put my hook through the inside to make sure like the arms is very secure. So when I yarn over, I put my hook through the inside of the dress, this got that stitch, and then pull through from the inside of the arm area to make sure like it's very secure, it's very connected. And I just kept on doing the same pattern, just going around it. You could do whatever you kind of feel comfortable, but I felt like it worked for me when I kind of turned my hand on the inside to catch the loops to make sure everything is just secure. Once more, when I got to the end, I twist my arm to put the hook through the inside of the arm area and to wrap the yarn around my hook to the inside of the dress to pull through, and then I just continue as normally. All right, so I did about 2 rows of the puff stitch and double crochet pattern on top to give it a little more bedazzle. All right, so it came out really cute. I was not following any pattern, so this voiceover is a little bit different because this video would have been really, really long if I didn't do this voiceover. So that was the first round of the puff stitch. you could leave it like that too, because it's very cute. It added a little bedazzle to it, but I wanted the top to be like kind of like hanging on her chest. So I am going to add another row of the same pattern to give it like a little cute, a little more ruffle ballerina childlike dress. Okay, so this time I did do it on every single stitch again to give it like, you know, the ruffle effect, but it came out really cute. I know this voiceover is a little different than my very first video, but this is my second video, so I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Here is a quote by Walt Whiteman. It says, "Keep your face always towards the sunshine and shadow will fall behind you."